Hey friend, welcome back to the Bible Tract Echoes radio broadcast. I'm Mike McCurry, your host, and I'm so very thankful for the fact that you would join me today on the program. As I've already mentioned, we have kind of a unique week, and we continue today because let me describe the scene that is behind me at this moment. There are two girls, ages 5 and 4, that are absolutely just itching to get on camera with me right now, and you might be able to hear them in the background. I'm going to need them to shh back there just a little bit. You might hear them giggling, you might hear them laughing just a little bit. They're going to join me in just a second. But behind me, not only are there two girls, but I've allowed them to choose the theme, the mood, the colors of our set, of my office today. And they've chosen, let's see, Lucy, what color did you pick today? She picked pink. This would not be normally a color that I would go with right off the top of my head, but she was a tight race between purple and pink, and she went with pink today. So in just a moment, they're going to join me. I think tomorrow on the broadcast, maybe we'll let them tell us about their favorite gospel tracts, but today we have some questions that may be actually a help to you, maybe an exhortation, maybe edifying, may quite possibly be a rebuke to you as well. But we're going to allow Emmy and Lucy to join us on the program here in just a moment. Let me encourage you, while they're coming up here, you guys are coming, come on up. While they're coming up, oh goodness, they are just excited. While they're coming up here, let me encourage you to visit BibleTractsInc.org to order some of our gospel tracts today. That's BibleTractsInc.org. Don't touch anything. Here we go. Are you guys ready? All right, here we go. We're going to jump in. We're going to move the microphone out of the way. All right. Oh, we swapped sides again today. Here we go. All right. So here's the deal. We have some questions for you guys.
Heavy.
Yeah, what's okay? We have a question for you here today. We're going to go to Douglas he is from Lansing, Michigan. He asked this question. What do you guys do when mommy and daddy are traveling? What do you guys do besides sleep? He asked, what do you guys do in the car when the family is traveling? But we don't normally travel in the car, do we? Sometimes we do, that's true. Sometimes. How do we usually travel, though?
In the motorhome. Sometimes.
In the motorhome.
So if it's really early in the morning, we usually stay in pajamas, and then when we get there, we get dressed.
Yeah, because sometimes what we'll do is, if we have to leave, if it's one of those things, and just for a little look behind the curtain in the evangelist life, if it's a church that's like 3 hours away or something like that, instead of driving there at night and then spending the night there, because you're not always sure what churches have hookups and all those types of things, sometimes we'll go to sleep in the RV in the driveway on Saturday night, and then I'll wake up. Yeah, well, in the RV normally, and I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that, get ready, and then I will just drive the RV while they're sleeping, and we'll get to our destination. And that way they're able to get a full night's sleep and all of that. So oftentimes we travel by the RV, and of course it gives a lot more liberty, a lot more freedom for us to do things. When we're sitting down, we should be buckled up and all of that. But sometimes we do travel by car, and you guys we play I Spy sometimes.
I don't like traveling in the car.
Yeah, the RV is a lot better, isn't it?
Sometimes it's hot.
Yeah, sometimes. Right. So, yeah, I think that answers that question. Here's a question. Ooh. Miss Rosemary from Viola, Wisconsin wants to know, can you guys sing a song for everyone? Do you have a song you like?
Yeah.
What's your song?
Every day
I am on my way to a mansion above. So that song there, that's one of Emmy's. And is that one of your favorite songs, Lucy? It's one of kind of Emmy's favorite songs, I think.
Like Men Have a First Century, or
Every
Day She Hates Them. Hates them.
Okay. Shh. We'll discuss that in a second. So the song "Safely Home" was written by a friend, Byron Fox. A phenomenal song. I believe it was written around or after the homegoing of his father-in-law, good man of God, and so he wrote that song. And Emmy just loves that song.
I have one more thing.
Yes.
So when we went to their church, every time after church, we would sing half of it, and then we would leave.
I was in a meeting with Brother Fox, and so we sang it together. He played on the piano, and why don't you sit up, start looking Stop looking a little bit odd there. All right, there you go. These guys are handfuls. Did you know that? You guys are. Here's a question.
No, we're not.
Here's a question. You guys might not be able to understand, but I'm going to answer the question if you guys can't, okay? A gentleman named Ken. Can you say hi, Ken?
Hi, Ken.
He's from Hanover, Pennsylvania. He has this question. How do you balance today's culture with your faith? How do you balance today's culture? So,
I don't know that.
yeah. There's a lot of big words in there. So, Ken, for the girls, so you understand, I'm going to answer the question. I'll describe it to you. What he's asking is, how do you make sense of, how do you work through, how do you balance the culture today? Because the culture, the world, can be pretty wicked. Do some pretty crazy things. How do you balance it with your faith? And I'll be honest with you, it's hard to just take... Hold on. Well, you just wait, okay? Maybe it'll be an illustration later on. So, Ken, it's a great question. For those of you listening right now, that is a phenomenal question to ask me as a father of a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old, these two charming girls here. Here's the thing. How to balance today's culture with your faith. And I don't know necessarily the spirit or intention of, and what I mean by that, I'm sure there's no bad spirit or intention behind the question. It's just hard to know the context with which you're asking the question, Ken. So, but if I just took that in a vacuum, my short answer would be, I don't. I don't balance today's culture with my faith. My faith trumps today's culture. See, I feel like a lot of folks, and I'm not going to get too far down a rabbit trail, and nor am I going to get excessively preachy with my girls sitting in my lap at the moment, though they have heard me preach before many times.
One question.
Hold on.
One story to tell.
Okay, you just wait. So, I think a lot of Christians today, or if I can be so blunt, so-called Christians, spend a lot of time trying to work today's culture into their worship, trying to work today's culture into their faith, into how they work with the world. Can I tell you, come out from among them and be separate is still part of the Bible. And I'm not going to give a whole diatribe on the standards and separation, all those types of things. What I'm going to say is the desire, the idea of work-life balance in all of that. I'm not necessarily opposed to the concept. I understand where people are going with that. But culture-faith balance, that's a fallacy. That's a farce. To think that you can balance the sheer, trying to find some words that I can use in the company of these young ladies, the foolishness, the absolute God-hating foolishness that goes on in our world today, trying to balance that. I tell you, there are so many churches that the reason that the lost find them so not attractive, but find them such a lighthouse of the gospel of Jesus Christ is because they are different. They don't try to conform to the world, as Romans 12:1-2 tells us. So that would be my answer to the question, and maybe we'll give some exposition on that in future. Miss Emmy, you have been waiting so very patiently, and you did a great job putting your hand on my arm because you had something to tell me. What would you like to share with us? I'm hoping it's applicable.
So when I went to a store with my mom and my cousin was better than me by getting tracts out, so I tried to give one out to an old man, but then he just looked at it and then just gave it back in my hand.
Okay.
And I was crying because he didn't take it.
Well, you know what? That was phenomenal. The fact that you even tried to give him a gospel tract, because your cousin is how old now? How old's Addie? She 9? Almost 10? Something like that? She's a couple years older than you. Anyway, Miss Addie apparently was giving out gospel tracts, and Emmy wanted to participate, and you started handing out gospel tracts, and sounds like a gentleman. I think if I recall, the gentleman misunderstood. I don't think he understood what you were trying to give him, and so I think he thought it wasn't applicable to him, and he gave it back. I don't think he was even doing it because he didn't want it. He just didn't understand what it was. But to that point, do you guys you guys use gospel tracts, don't you?
Yeah, I have a Bible tract one they gave me.
Yeah. You guys use gospel tracts. Let's try to find one more question from folks. We have so many questions that came in here. Let's see. Miss Emmy. Ooh, do you know a Cindy Woodward? Who is that?
Mimi.
That's your Mimi. She sent in a question. Do you like your Mimi? She sent a question. Here's what she asked. You get to travel to lots... now we're going to ask Lucy first, okay? You get to travel to lots of different churches and make lots of new friends. Now, Lucy, how many friends do you think you have now?
A lot.
A lot? If you had to pick a number, how many do you think it would be?
I don't.
What do you think? Can you pick a number? Give me a number, any number.
5.
You know what? I bet you have more than 5 friends, but that's a good guess. Miss Emmy, what do you think? How many friends? If you had to count them up, you do pretty good with numbers.
Know.
Well, count. How many do you think?
I don't know.
Give me a number. What's a number?
I don't know because there's some that we went to somewhere, but I don't remember.
Okay.
So
Well, I bet you guys have literally dozens of friends.
Yeah.
Tens and tens and dozens. All right. Do you like being Miss Lucy? Do you like being in missions conferences?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were just in a missions conference in New York. That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't like having to stand up preaching.
Well, hey, at least you're honest. At least you're honest. So these ones have graduated out of nursery, and not all churches have kids programs and things, and so they're learning.
Our church, when it was a mission conference, they had kids thing.
They did. So sometimes when there's
On the
missions
question
conferences,
thing, they didn't.
yeah, sometimes there will be missions conferences that have kids programs going on and things like that, and so they are learning to enjoy the preaching, aren't you?
No, we're not.
It's probably because you're such a wretched sinner that you need more preaching, don't you? You should sit in all the preaching, I think.
No, I don't like I like children sing.
I know.
Sometimes you can do crafts.
All right. Let's see here. I think we're going to call it good for questions today. If you have a question for these young ladies, I'll let you text that in. I got a few more to get through tomorrow. You can text us at, Lucy, say after me, 309 316 7240.
7247.
Emmy, the number they need to text is 309
309
316
316
7240.
30.
Now, if you have a question for these young ladies, or if you have a question for me, I'd love to hear from you. As the director of Bible Tracts Incorporating this ministry, we are so blessed with a phenomenal team here. And I'm thankful for my family. And hold on. The phenomenal team that we have here at Bible Tracts makes the job that I do in traveling across America and the world so much easier. I say easier. I couldn't do it without them. Tracts would not be going out the door. This ministry would flounder if we did not have the team that we have. So thankful for Brother Austin, our Director of Operations. Thankful for Mark Fries, Radio Editor. I'm thankful for Matt Pearson as he connects with our partners. I'm thankful for Todd Lofbaum, the job that he does with outreach and discipleship, and Weston and Miss Rachel and all the people, the volunteers, the Mises and Campbells come in at times, and different folks, the ladies of our local church. And I'm thankful for Valley Baptist Oswego, for First Baptist Clinton. Thankful for Mediapolis Church over there, coming with Trad Seibert. I'm so thankful for the phenomenal people that volunteer and make this ministry possible. My prayer, as always, is that you have a great day for His glory, and say, join us tomorrow.
Join us tomorrow.
God bless.
God bless. What did that mean? What did that mean?